Bad Wolves, I'm Rock One 2.1. If tomorrow never comes, welcome back to the show. Rico came across this interesting piece of artists asking the question, why aren't there rock bands performing at the Super Bowl anymore? Now, I have my own theory, but before I get into that, I'll share with you some of the quotes like James Hetfield admitted on Nikki Sixx's radio program back in the day, as artists, we're a band, we love playing songs. We're not going to fly through the air on a sparkly star with a unicorn. Is the reason why he feels like bands like Metallica would not be a good fit, right? Dee Snider seemed to come to the same conclusion in comments after the NFL announced Jennifer Lopez and Shakira as halftime performers in 2019. He said, once again, the great heavy music that rocks the stadiums week after week, game after game, is completely ignored. I guess we just don't shake our ass enough. But I don't think that's the case. Now, again, I've... the tisk tisk sound. And please, let's not do that. We'll talk about the. It's an
we'll talk.
Yeah. So, anyways, but with this though, you've seen like a trend over the last 10 years have been like strictly pop acts. Now,
Right.
before that, we have had acts like the Who, the Rolling Stone. This was right after Nipplegate, right? So we kind of go through decades where it's all or nothing, right? So we went all or nothing on pop, and then they showed a nipple, and then we went all for like classic rock bands. And then we kind of worked our way back into pop. I think the Black Eyed Peas was the first to kind of like ease into that direction. The last 10 years, we've had nothing but pop, but we've had some exceptions. Now, we're talking about the bands at the Super Bowl. It's not 100% true because if you recall, there are some acts that are considered bands that have performed on the Super Bowl in the last 10 years. In fact, if I was to ask you, just even the last 8 years, what your favorite Super Bowl halftime performance was, could you recall?
Prince.
No, last 8 years.
That was more than 8 years ago.
Prince
Was it?
Prince died more than 8 years ago. What are you talking about?
My timeline. Damn. I couldn't recall more than 10 years ago.
I know. Well, I mean, obviously, there's the legendary performances like Michael Jackson, Whitney Houston. Well, she did the national anthem.
When was Bruce
Prince?
Springsteen?
That's a good over 8 years ago.
Dang.
I know.
Wow.
Well,
it has been all pop, huh?
Well, yeah, technically, but a couple bands. I'll give you. So there was a poll that asked people the same question: what their favorite halftime show of the last 8 years was. Coming in at number 8 was Justin Timberlake and the Tennessee Kids. Only 2% said that. Can you recall the year that he performed? This is why the Super Bowl halftime show is a big nothing burger because like at the time, you're like hyped up about it and you can't wait to see it, and then you almost immediately forget it.
Right.
But 2% of people considered that their favorite. This next one coming in number 7, 3% actually featured a band. In 2019, it was Maroon 5.
That's right.
Yeah, see, now Adam Levine, of course, is a pop star by all measures, but they still started off as a band and technically were a band that had Travis Scott and Big Boy perform with them as well. 2021 saw The Weeknd perform, 4% of people like that. And then in 2016, another band took the stage. Now, it was a band that crossed over to pop, definitely not a heavy band, but, band nonetheless, and that was Coldplay. With Beyonce and Bruno Mars. Only 6% of people dug that, right? So here are your top 4 favorite Super Bowl halftime shows of the last 8 years, according to this poll on Ranked. Lady Gaga comes in number 4. In 2017, she performed. The ass shaking that Dee Snider was talking about, Jennifer Lopez, Shakira, Bad Bunny. And
a lot of booty shaking.
Yeah, that's 9% people dug that. That was in 2020. Okay. And then in 2023, remember when a pregnant Rihanna was flying over the crowd? Well, a lot of people did. So 10% of people said that was their favorite. So the number one halftime show that, people considered their favorite in the last 8 years happened in 2022. And it was the first time ever that gangster rap and West Coast rap was featured on a global stage, even though they were selling massive units for over 2 decades. Eminem, Dr. Dre, Snoop Dogg, Kendrick Lamar, Mary J. Blige, and 50 Cent.
I was going to say, I think the memes helped a lot with that too.
To make it memorable.
Oh, yeah.
Yes, for sure. I thought the performance was solid as well. But, the reason why Dr. Dre was announced as the halftime Super Bowl performer is because the Super Bowl at the time was in Los Angeles, which is why I feel like the NFL definitely dropped the rock and roll ball for this year's Super Bowl because this year's Super Bowl is in Las Vegas. And now, off the top of your head, do you know a major prominent potential stadium filling band that is from Las Vegas?
Oof. Putting me on the spot. Not right away. You're going to say it. I'll be like, oh.
I'm going to tell you.
Yeah.
The Killers.
Oh.
Now, the Killers, they go over the top. They cross that line of they actually walk that line of rock and roll and pop, right? With Brandon Flowers kind of experiencing both, but he's an excellent front man. And their first album was literally named Sam's Town. So what better artist in Las Vegas to represent Las Vegas would be than the Killers and represent rock and roll at the same time. Instead, they went with Usher, who has no affiliation except for like how much money he spent in the strip clubs in Las Vegas, because Usher likes to party. And I'm not hating on him. I'm just stating facts. But there is no other affiliation to Las Vegas than that. But with the Killers, it's all of them. Now, I know there's some people who are calling right now. They say, hey, Five Finger Death Punch is from Las Vegas as well. Well, that's not mainstream enough to be on Super Bowl, unfortunately. Maybe that's a little too heavy right now, maybe in another 10 years.
Everybody loves the Killers globally.
Exactly.
It's just like one of those bands, like, who hates the Killers?
Right. So the Killers is actually one of those bands that will headline major festivals all over the world. So they are definitely a Super Bowl stature act that the NFL dropped the ball on not booking and instead going for Usher, which I don't know anyone, even besides Yaz Money, my friend, who's excited about this halftime show. The rest of it is like, with Dr. Dre, that was an iconic,
that was.
He's the Quincy
legendary.
Jones of hip hop, right? So, like legendary. Now, Usher, of course, amassed a good career, but hasn't done anything in the last 20 years. And, nobody's putting him up in legend status. So I think they dropped the ball big time on that.
It's like, going for the nostalgia bait, kind of. And then also people are going to be like, oh, he still has it. Look at him.
Right?
He's still gyrating. Good for Usher.
I know. Which, again, like he's going to one up the Janet Jackson Nipplegate. And he's like, have you ever seen Tipgate? I'll show you just the tip.
Going to bring out Drake.
Yeah. All right, there you go. So that was our, not our show open, but talking about Super Bowl halftime and how the NFL dropped the ball on that, because every Super Bowl halftime performer usually has some kind of affiliation to the region. When you mentioned Prince and, as being the greatest all-time Super Bowl halftime show, I believe that was in Minnesota. Yeah, Minneapolis, Minnesota. So, that's what they do. So usually when they go to a region and they're representing the Super Bowl, they're like, what's the biggest artist in this region? Usher is no affiliation with Las Vegas whatsoever. So them not thinking about the Killers means somebody did not do their job. And they messed up, because I really believe that the Killers would have put on a better halftime performance in Las Vegas than Usher. Hands down. I don't care how much choreographing you have. He
was born in Dallas.
Usher was born in Dallas. Yeah. If it was like Cowboy Stadium, then okay, you stake your claim. This is your turf. Understandable, right? But this is why I'm upset about that, because it could have been a band. It's been a lot of hip hop and R&B over the last few years, right? It could have been a band, and it could have been somebody local. Clap Commander is good. Yeah, Clap Commander is good. We're gonna actually play what she's talking about. That's Alex. We talked about this story that I'll go into details about a prostitute in Anchorage, Alaska, that inadvertently solved a double homicide, and how she could be a new detective, and how this would be a perfect movie vehicle. And Rico came up with the movie poster, actually a couple, that we're going to share with you and debut on the stream here just after this clip. But I want to do a tease on the FM side. We'll play that 3-minute clip talking about this PI with an STI, and then be back with Would You Rathers and a lot, including I got a conspiracy theory that nobody's touched on the internet, but I feel like I know who leaked that Drake video of him playing himself on a private jet.
Juicy.
Yeah. Oh. I feel like I know the answer to that too. I know that's not necessarily our format, but when it comes to tea, I'm all about it. All right. Rock 102.1 KFMA. Welcome back to Beef Vegan Presents. We're live on the podcast broadcast where you can see the beautiful Mari, and we're going to debut our posters for the PI with an STI, the Anchorage Alaska Prostitute who inadvertently solved a double homicide and is becoming a detective. That's a movie we want to see, and we're going to try to make that a reality. So on the podcast broadcast, we'll recap the story before debuting with you 2 posters with catchphrases that we compiled based off of your requests. So you can join us, youtube.com/beefvegan, or keep it right here because you got your Would You Rathers with Mari coming up after Beartooth on Rock 102.1. All right.
We'll settle for a Netflix series.
Yeah, it should be a good Netflix series. It should be a running theme.
Who would be the star?
Jenna Ortega. And I'll tell you why. Right now, she is so sexualized. We'll talk more about that here in a minute. But
immediate answer.
Yes, because she's in the front of my mind. But Rock on 2.1 KFMA. Welcome back to why about Jenna. You know, doing this morning radio gig, Rico and I are always coming across stories and that we're like, that would make a great movie. I mean, we were talking about it today. Always, coming across these stories like, can't wait to see the movie or the Netflix documentary of this. And a lot of times we've called it. Well, I have another story I want to share with you that is made to be a movie or even like an HBO series. You can file this one under creepy as hell, but there's a double murder trial of a man named Brian Stephen Smith, which is set to begin in Anchorage, Alaska this week. Now, over 4 years ago, an unnamed woman with a history of theft, assault, and prostitution got into a truck for a quote-unquote date with a man who was picking her up in downtown Anchorage, right? So at one point, he left her alone in the truck, and that's when she stole a digital memory card from the center console because she's a klepto. Now, what was stored on that memory card could be the key to the double murder trial set to begin this week. A week after stealing the card, the woman turned it over to police after seeing reported gruesome photos and videos and a bunch of graphic, crime evidence that I don't want to describe on the radio, okay? The voice in the video also allegedly has a man's voice saying, "In my videos, someone always dies." So now you got yourself a villain in this film, right? And the protagonist, the hero, is this prostitute detective.
Take my money.
Yeah, he's right. Now, why have we ever had a prostitute detective story on the big screen or a silver screen?
Oh man,
it's so catchy that I'm
not like overtly.
No, like this is printing money. There's so many people. Imagine if Pretty Woman was met with like 7. Right?
Only fans and 7 put together.
Right. So, and then the whole plot of the movie is that the prostitute then discovers and solves different murder crimes all through Semi Valley or wherever it's at, right?
From seeking arrangements to seeking arrests.
Yes. Now, Smith has pleaded not guilty to this, but I immediately, my mind is wandering and I'm like, oh man, she could be like the erection obsessive detective or the PI with an STI. There's so many different ways that you could brand this prostitute / crime fighting detective. She's like the Batman of prostitutes. You know what I'm saying? All right, so we're gonna stop that there and let me share with you what Rico came up with, because then he hates it
collective
sometimes. Yeah,
I was using all the collective input.
Yeah, so we had tons of calls on this, talking about come up with taglines for this PI with an STI, this crime fighting prostitute from Anchorage, Alaska, and we had tons of great calls, and we put them together in a poster, and it looks like this. Check out Beef Vegan presents the Sloppy Top Cop. All right, now on the Sloppy Top Cop, she's the disease and the cure, as critics call her the PI with an STI or the PD that cures ED. Right? The story is an Anchorage, Alaska prostitute solved a double homicide and became the Sloppy Top Cop. Dirty streets, dirtier deeds. Or dirtier dame. It's Rock 2.1 KFMA. We're debuting the movie poster for Sloppy Top Cop. This is based off the story that we shared earlier on the show with your suggestions for taglines of a movie that we want to see. We want to see this as a Netflix series or a movie that goes straight to the big screen starring Jenna Ortega as the prostitute in Anchorage, Alaska, who solves homicides. Yes.
Cha-ching.
Yeah, there's another poster that he made as well, more noir, if you will. Sloppy Top Cop. And then there's a quote. Yeah, it says, "I smell sex and murder."
Murder.
Amazing.
Mostly sex.
Mostly sex.
Mostly.
We're back here live on the podcast broadcast, youtube.com/beefvegan. We got the lovely Mari in studio with us. That means we have another round of the hypotheticals of Mari's Would You Rathers. These are situations where Rico and I have to answer one or the other and why, no matter what. So what do you got for us, Mari? What's your first Would You Rather?
Okay. Your first Would You Rather is, would you rather have ham hands or armpits that dispense barbecue scented lotion?
ham hands or armpits that dispense barbecue.
That's an easy one.
Scented lotion.
Okay, yeah. What would you say?
Definitely the armpit thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, if you have ham hands, what are you gonna do with ham hands?
Oh,
Well,
nibble?
you'll never go hungry.
Nope.
Yeah. I
Is it
do love
replenishing
ham.
hands.
I used to suck my thumb when I was a kid.
Ooh.
Maybe it tasted like ham.
No, just imagine every barbecue dad coming up to you. Hey, bro, another one.
I
He's
know.
the coolest guy ever.
That would make you like the sexiest man in Texas.
Oh
if-
yeah,
it had
usually,
You get all the cowgirls.
absolutely.
All right. Well, based off that, I'm gonna have to agree with you, Rico. Yeah, the barbecue scented armpit squirt. Yeah, there's a new place. Was Bashful Bandit. Shout out to Toby and the Bashful
Mhm.
Bandit on Speedway.
I'll be right over with my armpits.
Yeah. If you guys are
lotion,
looking
though.
for, hey, well, good. It will make the meat smooth and delicious.
Exfoliate that meat.
All right, what else you got? Lindsay saying so gross. So, but Jeff agrees, armpits for sure, and so does Sadak. All right, what else we got here in a Would You Rather?
Okay, would you rather your food always be too spicy, like uncomfortably spicy, or have no knees?
No knees. So my food's gonna be uncomfortably spicy, or I'm walking around like I'm on stilts all the time.
No knees.
You know, I'll tell you what. I had some fudge last night.
Okay.
Right, this was gifted to me over Christmas from my daughter's boyfriend's grandmother.
Oh, sweet.
But it is uncomfortably spicy, and I kind of have this fear in the back of my mind that they're trying to poison me. I'm a little paranoid to eat this fudge. But I was, I had a sweet tooth last night, and I was like, even though this might be poison fudge and really hot in my throat, I'm gonna have a couple pieces and knock on wood and hopefully not die. Now I didn't die, which is good,
No.
so they didn't poison me.
Mhm.
But I do know what it's like to have uncomfortably spicy food, and it made me not like the fudge. The fudge
Did
sucked.
you sweat from the fudge?
Not really. It was
Oh,
like a
okay.
peppermint spice.
Ooh.
Yeah, but it was not.
Oh,
it
frosted
was,
spice.
It was not
Mhm.
comfortable, and made me not enjoy the fudge. So it makes me believe that I enjoy food so much. I rather walk around like Stilt Man, and then stuff my fat face and enjoy the deliciousness.
Yeah.
What would you say, Rico?
I think I would go for the spice. I like my knees. I like having knees. They're convenient.
Oh yeah,
But then-
what are they convenient for?
Walking to get good food.
I was like, if you didn't have knees, you wouldn't have this job. You
But
know
think
what I
about
mean?
it. If you eat the spicy every single time you have a meal, you're gonna get your palate's gonna adjust to it. You're
Yeah.
gonna burn those buds off, and they kind of suck. But I'll be like still running around.
We have streamers agreeing with you on that, and of course, there's
Mhm.
people that are closer to the Ecuador that would agree with you.
Yeah.
Spicy food in Mexico and in Central America. The fun fact: the closer we get to the equator, the spicier the food is, because over time, as evolution, you eat spicy food, you sweat. When you sweat, it cools the body down.
Oh.
It makes you feel cooler, and that's why those
Oh.
regions tend to have spicier food.
Mm.
Science. All right, give us another. Would you rather here, Mari?
Okay, because of the recent weather,
Mhm.
would you rather it rain Mountain Dew or beer?
Oh, come on.
Oh, what?
Yeah, dude, beer all day
Ew,
long.
No.
What?
First
Why
off,
not?
Mountain Dew is going to be stickier if you're thinking about cleaning up and that aspect, or even
Yeah.
the smell. The smell of old Mountain Dew is not great. And then you can just go outside, open your mouth, and catch a buzz. That's cool. As opposed to you going outside, opening your mouth, and catching diabetes.
Or caffeine.
Diabetes.
Mm.
Diabetes.
Diabetes.
It's got what plants crave.
I'm
I'm thinking either one, the ecosystem's gonna collapse, so you
Yeah.
might as well be drunk while it's happening.
yes.
So there's that.
Yeah. Back in the day, like in the 70s, we used to have acid rain. And that's
Oh,
because of
yeah.
chemicals that were getting released into the air, and they fixed that, so we don't have acid rain anymore. But I feel like the scientists do know a way to release chemicals in the air, so we can have beer rain, but they won't allow it.
Mm.
It's a cover up.
It is.
Yeah, they don't want us. It's big beer spending the money, making sure we don't get free beer flowing from the
Do
skies.
we have the technology? Yes. Do we want everybody to have their own beer? No.
No.
Yeah.
Sorry.
And of course, all my dudes on the podcast broadcast stream were saying beer. You can join the conversation, youtube.com/beefvegan. We got more of the podcast broadcast coming up after these words, plus music on the way from Mammoth WVH. It's Rock 102.1 KFMA. Clear.
Now the question should have been, what kind of beer? I think beer de taco. Yeah. It's like if it's raining IPA, I'll be livid.
Yeah. What's a good rain beer? I mean, I think Coors Light, because that's water beer,
A
right?
nice lager. Maybe a Hefeweizen.
Ooh, a little orangey.
Yeah.
Fancy. Okay. Yeah. And I'm trying to think of beer names that would translate to a good rebranding with rain involved, like
Just-
Natty Ice, but Natty.
It's just funny thinking about everybody mad at Bud Light still. Getting rained on by Bud Light.
If it's free, it's cheap.
Dumb.
That's right. Yeah, no, tequila would be better. I mean, obviously, that wouldn't even be a would you rather scenario. Just 100% tequila.
Ugh.
Tequila.
No, thank you.
Are you
I
really?
want Mountain Dew.
You would choose Mountain Dew?
I love Mountain
Do
Dew.
the do all your life, huh?
Mm-hmm.
All right, well,
so extreme.
let's go back to the prostitute crime fighting movie, right? I would cast Jenna Ortega. Jenna Ortega right now is
Can you pull her up as a photo? I can't.
think Wednesday. I'm gonna pull
that's
up.
who she is.
Oh yeah,
Okay.
and she's been in several other movies actually. Here I want to pull up this piece.
Never watched that.
Wednesday.
Mm-hmm.
Well, it's good. You're gonna, if you do watch Wednesday, you will definitely have a
new found
affection.
appreciation for goth girls.
Well, yeah, absolutely. An affection for Jenna
Yeah.
Ortega. Jenna Ortega. Look, she is undeniably adorable and cute. She's like 21 years old now, right? Now, the reason why she's even controversial at this moment is because she stars in a movie that's called, what do they call this? I want to say The Millers, but it's not The Millers. Shit. Hold on.
Yeah, I just saw this article.
Yeah. It's a movie with Martin Freeman, who was in Lord of the Rings, right?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Now he's in a super sexed up movie called Miller's Girl. Okay. In this movie, they call this an X-rated sex scene between Martin Freeman and Jenna Ortega.
Things I would have never
Yes.
guessed in my life.
Yes.
Okay.
And
52 and 21.
Yes, and he's 52, she's 21, and gorgeous. And I only saw little screenshots of this scene, and I'm like, I gotta watch this movie. Like I am now a new fan. So here's Jenna being adorable as always. So now you recognize her?
Yeah.
Okay.
No, as soon as you said Wednesday, yeah.
Yeah, for sure. So this is her in this movie. Now, this apparently, this movie, this sex scene, it's very like psychologically sexy. It's like he's being dominating her, kind of bending her over, and it's super graphic and super sexy. But so much so, it's pushing limits of standards, and people are freaking out about it because this obviously is Wednesday as well.
Not
So
on
she-
Wednesday.
Yeah, she's also going to be in Beetlejuice, so
Ooh.
yeah, she's very mainstream. But don't forget, she was in sexy roles before. So if you want to get yourself a Jenna Ortega fix and see her in a sexy role, watch the horror movie X, because she's in X getting it on with Kid Cudi's character in that movie.
Dang.
Yeah, so she has done adult like films before, and she's a smoker as well. So the Jenna Ortega on the screen could play like, I guess squeaky clean goth girl, but the reality is she's a bad girl by every definition in the best possible way. And so Martin plays a teacher named Jonathan Miller who forms a very close relationship with his student, Caro Sweet. I mean, this sounds like a goddamn porno, right?
He found a new hobbit hole.
He did. And so whatever reason, this film is causing so much controversy. Look at her smoking. She probably said, hey, I know this is not in the script, but I need a cigarette. So there he is.
Aw. I love him.
Yeah, you do love him. Wait till you see Miller's Girl, and then you might not love him as much. Look, they show all the previous.
I know, like the innocent roles they both had. Now we're corrupting both of them.
Yeah.
Like, oh, cool.
It's so fantastic. But yeah, again, controversy over this. People are freaking out about Miller's theme or Miller's Girl, and just about like how pornographic it is. And I applaud her. She's not playing it safe by any means. Now, this plot line is scandalous in itself. She plays an 18-year-old student in the age gap drama. Emphasis on gap. They say the raunchy on-screen moment was gross. You like how
All
that's
right.
like a hot take?
I know. So how would you describe this moment in the movie? Just gross. Associated Press, gross.
Yeah.
Like, okay.
With
Cool,
one
thanks.
critic saying, yeah, I'll watch this in the theaters as long as I can get my Dune 2 popcorn bucket first, huh? Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
Do you know how to get one of those, by the way?
Yeah, well, online, and
Okay.
yeah, I'll hook you up.
Thanks.
You got a
I'm
birthday
a
coming
huge
up?
sci-fi nerd. I just
Yeah,
want one
that's-
so bad.
That's what it is.
Yeah.
Yeah. SNL did an
Huge Dune.
excellent song and bit on the Dune 2 bucket.
What does it look like?
The Dune 2 bucket?
Yeah, like the giant sand creature coming
Oh,
out. Like a
really?
big gaping hole. just
Yeah.
vicious looking.
That you could put your penis in.
Hey, what?
That's what everyone says. That's
Oh,
the hot
what?
take.
Oh my gosh.
There it is.
Oh, I see it.
Yeah.
Weird.
You would not let your
Have some
teenage
respect,
sons
sir.
play with that bucket.
My son just loves Dune 2. He never saw the first one. He
Mhm.
just loves it. He's obsessed with the movie and the popcorn bucket.
You don't think
in
that
his
hurt a little
room.
bit? Wouldn't hurt?
You can take
Um,
away the pain.
Oh.
I don't
Not a
think
lube
so.
and tequila.
It looks kind of rubbery.
I hope so.
Looks kind of rubbery,
Not
huh?
like super hard spiky.
Yeah, it's like those flimsy spikes.
Yeah.
Looks rough on the edges, but it's actually very nice.
Yeah. All right. Let me show you this here. I'm gonna share this tab. You recognize this girl?
Hmm.
Let's see.
Let's see.
I'm sharing it. Can you see it?
No.
All right, hold on. Okay, right here. Do you recognize this girl?
Mm-mm.
Yes. No.
Say it into the microphone.
No.
All right.
No.
So her name is Bobbi Althoff. Right? Wait, hold on. How do I pronounce this? You've seen her. She's a viral sensation over the past couple years, pretty much since COVID. And I'm going to play you a clip as to why people dug her online. She's first off attractive. It's Bobbi Althoff and Althoff, something like that. And so she became viral for doing these monotone style celebrity podcast interviews. And here's one with Drake. Now, this is very important, so pay attention to it.
So you don't want to get married because you want to sleep around?
Well, no, I don't want to get married because like I just don't want to disappoint someone, and like I'm not like Amish.
What do you have against Amish people?
I don't. It's just like I needed something to rebuttal the fact that you're saying that I'm basically like a thought.
You are.
Oh, you know what a thought is?
I've heard that word.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
How do you spell it?
THOUGHT.
That's not how you spell it.
All right, so look at them. It looks a little
Jeez.
flirtatious, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Now, over the past couple of years, she started amassing tons of views, right? And that video that you just saw a clip of
Yeah.
was up. It was a viral sensation, and they were following each other on Instagram.
Huh.
Yeah. And then they stopped following each other on Instagram, and that video got pulled from the internet in its entirety from the YouTube page with no explanation from either side.
Huh.
Earlier this week, Drake had a video leaked of him playing with his massive dong on his private airline, right? This was obviously a video he was sending to a girl, and 10 out of 10 works every time. You know what I mean? If you're going to like speak
You're on a
in,
jet.
yeah, you're on your own private jet and you have a massive wang and you wave it around like this, right? Doesn't matter who you are. You're like, okay, sign me up, right? So that leaked. It's weird. And of course, Drake didn't deny it. And, you know, when you get caught on your private jet with a massive dong, you're like, yeah, you got me.
Whoops.
Today it was announced that Bobbi's husband of 4 years filed for divorce. Yes.
Ooh.
Now, there was rumor and speculation that Drake, this interview happened last summer, that Drake and Bobbi hooked up.
Okay.
Right now, there was chemistry there. The people saw it and they're just like, wait a
They're
second,
in
what's
the
going on?
bed.
They're in the bed doing the podcast. If you end up in Poppy's bed, right? That's what he
Jeez.
calls himself.
Champagne
Poppy.
Poppy.
Champagne Poppy's bed, then you ain't leaving that bed without a dick in you. That's just a fact.
Them's the rules.
I read that somewhere.
Yeah.
Oh wow.
Right? Yeah. And so with that, now Bobbi's husband filed for divorce. That was today. So here's my assumption and speculation. The person who leaked the Drake video could have been Bobbi's soon-to-be ex-husband.
Spicy.
Or Bobbi, because Champagne Poppy cut it off after she said, my husband's going to divorce me. Let's get together. And then he was like, no, I don't want to get married. And then
You're
she's like,
assuming you're assuming that Champagne Poppy fell in love with Bobby Thotty.
You don't know how Poppy operates.
When
I
you
don't.
have a massive dong in a private jet, you are not monogamous. You don't necessarily settle for the one. Like he said, he's not Amish. So I don't
True.
think it
it
was
wasn't Bobby.
it wasn't Bobby.
It was
But
a
I do
husband.
think it does seem like it's a move from a jilted lover.
Hmm.
So you think he found it and then
Yeah.
was like, I'm going to air it and then divorce you?
I think he found it a while ago, right?
A while ago.
Yeah, I think he found it when a speculation came out that they cheated. And, once he figured out, like, he can't get past the feeling of seeing. Imagine you're married to a beautiful woman. She's beautiful. They have 2 kids together, a 3 and a 1-year-old. Yes, I know, right? Then she blows up and then she bangs this guy. And you're like, well, it can't be that bad, can it? And then you look through her phone and you see a video of Drake on his private jet going like this.
With sound effects and everything.
There's no returning from that.
Okay.
That relationship is
Alrighty.
over.
You've convinced me it's the husband.
Right. So then you screenshot that shit. You send it to yourself. You bank it. You try to get it out of your head. You go through therapy. You see if you could just try to like reconcile. Then you realize there's no coming back. You never look at that vagina the same. For some way, somehow it got ruined more so than having 2 kids fly out of it. And you got like the 3rd kid going into it.
For some reason, like, honey, why are you turning off the radio every time Drake comes on?
Yeah.
Like, you
Right.
used to call me on the show.
Exactly.
Like,
So
bitter.
I would, if I was to have, and again, I don't have any information. It's 100% speculation. But if I was like a sleuth, which I kind of am, if there's a suspect that's a more suspect than anyone else who would leak this around this time, the week that it was announced that he's filing for a divorce for irreconcilable differences, it would be him saying, okay, you know what? Fuck you. Fuck him too.
Right.
And then inadvertently, and this is the backfire, which is adds insult to injury. You leak it like, fuck you.
Got
and
you.
then all the internet, all the women on the internet are throwing their digital paintings at him. Like, that's not what I meant. God damn it.
Look at this guy in his private jet and giant dong.
Yeah.
Look at him.
Why can't you cancel this guy?
What the hell, man? Oh, that's a valid theory.
Yeah,
See?
no,
That's a valid
I am
theory.
convinced. I believe it.
I know.
Dirty.
I'm on to something.
What's
You
funny
are.
too is you
I
talking
feel
about
that pain.
Imagine, because you said she blew up after this interview, right? This is one of her first or starting out ones.
No. I mean, by the time
I was gonna say getting Drake in there.
and the way that she got Drake too, so she was already kind of blowing up. There was plenty of clips. You go down the rabbit hole of hers, and it's wildly entertaining. She's very good on that. And she was on Barstool, Dave Portnoy, under that kind of umbrella. She slid in his DMs as a request. You never do that. You go to publicists,
Right.
and
Middleman.
yeah. So Drake DMs her back, sets it up, and said, "Okay, let's do the podcast, but let's do it in bed." Right.
Right.
The guy's an assassin.
At that point, the husband, she goes to a husband like, "Yeah, I'm getting Drake today." Okay, where are you guys doing it?
We're on the air, by the way.
In bed.
Yeah.
I'm like,
All right, so we're just spilling some conspiracy theories, some celebrity gossip conspiracy theory, and I feel like I'm on one. And what do you guys think? Do you agree with my theory? Let me know on the podcast broadcast stream in your comments if
that's
I'm
a
on to something.
juicy theory, B.
Oh yeah.
Thank you. Oh, because
You're a PI, man.
well, you got to think motive. Motive is everything, right? When you talk about this. So who had the motive to leak something that would be considered salacious? Well, the person who feels like his whole entire life was turned upside down by this guy's massive dong. I'm talking about Drake. So again, it still backfired because when he leaked it, it didn't make his stock go down, Drake's stock. If anything, it just went up. And then he didn't even have to do a denial post. He just it was almost like a shrug emoji.
It's gonna make his next album cover probably.
Oh,
Screen cap
man.
from that.
It
It's
is.
like, man, how much money? Top selling album? Okay.
Yes. So you guys have to look up the podcaster Bobbi Althoff, and I'm saying her name wrong for sure, but you should know what I mean if you're on the internet. She is like 26 years old, and she's adorable, super beautiful, and has a funny delivery in the way that she interviews celebrities. But her husband filed for divorce today, same week after leaks of her alleged mistress Drake.
So you putting one and one together is pretty clever.
Yeah.
You're the dong detective.
I am the dong detective for
Mm.
sure. Yeah, make a poster of that.
Yeah.
Actually,
No, I
don't.
will,
I'm not
trust
gonna
me.
post it. No, I'm just not gonna post it.
I'll send it to Drake.
So, well, I mean, it's as easy as like, how do you get Drake on your show? Well, slide in your DM. Slide in your DMs. Like,
It's
oh,
easy.
that's how it works, huh? Yeah, if you're hot, that's how it works.
Mm.
Well, we're back here live on the air. Let's talk about some science real quick. Like with science here, if you want to prevent yourself from getting Alzheimer's, don't do this nasty habit. Can you guess what this nasty habit is?
Pick your nose.
Oh, okay. What would you guess, Rico?
Touching yourself.
Okay, wow. I don't like
That's
the
why
way
I have
that you
such
said
hairy
that.
hands. So I don't know.
I know, but I don't like the way you said that.
I know.
Mari was correct. I should have just stopped with Mari.
Okay.
Congratulations.
I'll see
Yes.
myself out.
So you could pick your friends, you could pick your nose, but you could also pick higher chances of getting Alzheimer's if you pick your nose.
Really?
A review of dozens of published studies have found that a protein called TAU. So I'll let you pronounce it. You just came back from Cambodia.
I think it's just TAU. Let's just go with
No,
that.
it's a word.
Is it Tao?
Tau. Yeah, it could be tau.
Tao.
It has been seen in excess in the brains of Alzheimer's patients. That protein is associated with the body's immune system. So in this new study, researchers at Western Sydney University in Australia have came up with a theory saying that the buildup could partially be due to viral, bacterial, and fungal pathogens entering the brain through the nose. And the way that happens is through chronic nose picking.
Oh,
So the more you pick your bugs, the higher your chance of getting Alzheimer's.
yikes.
Yeah, and you're not gonna slow down picking your nose at that point because you'll forget that you just picked it and just nonstop,
Man,
right?
This explains everything.
Right?
Damn.
So nasty
Too late for
habits,
me.
nasty habits lead to nasty outbreaks. So if you know somebody who is a chronic nose picker and you love them, tell them stop or they'll forget who you are.
I can't wait the next time in rush hour traffic to like knock on the window. Sir. You're gonna get Alzheimer's. It's like,
I
what?
am saying Alzheimer's. I don't mean to say Alzheimer's.
Old-timers.
Yeah, no.
People saying carpal tunnel is like a
Right.
tunnel.
Yeah. All right. There's a woman who is legendary on Jeopardy right now. She's legendary for all the wrong reasons, and I want to show you those reasons on the podcast broadcast stream. You can join us youtube.com/bevegan, keeping the conversation moving after music from Fever 333 on Rock 102.1 KFMA. All right, so let me show you this. So this woman is on like Tournament of Champions, Jeopardy, right? That's
Uh-huh.
massive. And there was a rare situation in Final Jeopardy that nobody knew the answer to the Final Jeopardy question. All three contestants just had no clue whatsoever. So she bet 0. Okay.
Mhm.
And it looks like her competitors, her opponents, bet 0 as well. That's not the salacious part of this story. The salacious part that made her go viral was this little tidbit here. Oh shit. Hold on. Is what her reaction when she revealed her final answer. It instantly turned into a legendary internet gif that will
boy.
she'll never live down. Ready?
Mhm.
Oh.
You see it?
What?
I saw it.
Here.
Nobody wagered anything. 16,400. She did, and she wagered.
Yeah, that's the wrong.
Nobody wagered anything. 16,400.
Oh.
And
She did.
they told this poor woman that you should never go double fist on the internet like this,
Yeah,
right?
that's bad.
Because is it bad?
That's bad. Don't do
Mhm.
that.
It's not good.
Why would you do that?
No,
Glory holes in Cambodia.
you can't vote. Yeah, exactly. And then all she's saying is everyone bet 0. She's like, isn't that funny?
It's her
Ooh,
face,
0
too.
over there, 0 over there.
She looks so happy.
I know. No idea.
Let's read the comments. shall
Oh,
we? 'Cause I'm sure
man.
the comments are all great.
She did.
Looks more like a daily double. Oh, this poor girl. This will be shown to her for the rest of her life.
I know.
I wonder if she gets double facials.
Oh
Oh,
God.
man.
Only fans, Jeopardy style.
Oh no.
Oof.
Say, wait, they're still airing Jeopardy? Why when we don't have the king? I don't know. Okay, that's a stupid comment. You think this girl's been practicing, don't you think? The nonchalant gesture revealing the intriguing subtext. It seems the winner sought to symbolize the shared outcome of her opponents. Actually, this guy's a nerd. Reminds me of a Silicon Valley episode. Promoting your coin, even if in unsuitable situations. What is cum rocket?
Oh my God. Wow.
Okay, when your own shadow knows when you're putting on makeup.
What?
Why are you putting on makeup? Oh, look at that one.
Oh, I see it.
Oh man,
There's the areas,
There's
yeah.
another one. I see. Now you're just showing off. I think we found the source of actions, how she got onto the show.
It's like, why didn't I bet 1?
Sped up faster
Yeah.
and put on continuous bounce, please. Oh, this guy's trying to finish. Let's see. And okay, so those are the best comments.
Ay, ay. Poor girl.
I
I
know.
know.
What is
Poor
cum rocket?
thing. She's gonna go into porn. It's gonna feel bad now. Aw.
She's adorable.
Adorable.
Mhm.
Leave her alone.
Yeah, so there you go.
Get away.
Good morning, Dave. What up, 10? Good to see you. And she did not know what she was doing. She did not. Of course, she's on TV. She's on Jeopardy.
I swear this is my first time.
Yeah, I mean,
I
that's
never
a
do this
s-
kind of thing.
You would never assume in a million years that Jeopardy would be the place where people would say that you are someone who gives double blowjobs, right? You think this is the last place that someone would say, "Hey,
It's safe.
yeah, you look like you give the double BJs," like on Jeopardy.
Oh man,
Yeah, what is inappropriate?
nothing is sacred.
So,
Suck it, Trebek.
shit, my daughter's trying to go like get home or go home from school early again today. Whatever. Yeah, I don't know. All right, so early this morning I asked this question: have you ever had a work breakup? My friend did recently, and it made me recall my own personal work breakup. And in case you missed it, one little something like this. Check it out. Social D and Rock 102.1 KFMA played that because they're going to be playing at the Rialto Theater. Don't forget about that. Mike Ness had to reschedule, but out on a massive tour, and they're going to make their way through Tucson. So whenever we get a good show in Tucson, we got to celebrate it because we did post a lot of concert posters on our Instagram and Facebook the other day. A bunch were Phoenix shows, and of course, got the usual like, what the hell, man? All the good shows were coming to Phoenix. And these are people that obviously don't listen to the show, but they're, friends with us on social media because I explained it ad nauseum. And then I posted a bunch of local shows as well. So there are still great local shows coming. And my buddy Psycho Steve actually made a post on his page about all the great local shows that he has at 191 Tool and Club Congress. So he's starting to ramp up, which is good.
Oh, yeah.
Because, he knows how to put on some good shows. I was talking to another friend the other day who told me about this work drama she was experiencing. She made a little like joking comment to a colleague of hers through message. And then he responded back with this. I'm glad you and Blank are friends again and starting to mend that relationship. I fully supported that. And I truly think she could use that right now. I know you've had your differences with others, and I've never had any issues with you. When you pretended I didn't exist when I tried to say hi to you and Blank were first starting to have disagreements that really did not sit right for me with me. I'm sorry, but I just can't keep the same energy you're giving right now. I appreciate you reaching out and trying to be friendly, though. I still don't have any issues with you, and I'm totally fine with being around you and being polite with you. I would just rather not interact with you if I don't have to.
Ooh.
Thank you for understanding. And you know what that is? That is a work breakup. That's what I was like, you know what, you just got broken up with.
Yeah.
And she's like, I wasn't even mean to this guy. I don't even know what's going on. I was like, it's a preemptive work breakup.
Yeah.
And this happens all the time.
Yeah.
And I want to ask that question, if, to you guys out there listening, have you ever had a work breakup? And which means you're not romantically involved with a colleague, and you're not fired and you didn't quit. You still work with these people.
It's like work wives and work husband types.
In a
Where
way,
it's just like they're the work relationship.
I'll give you a
Yeah.
personal experience where I've had a work breakup, right? This was right when I got the show here. There was a person involved with digital, and he was always giving me attitude. He just didn't like me. He was very difficult to work with, and he kept doing such a bad job. And then right after the show started, I said, you know what? I'm not going to F with you anymore. I'm not going to ask you anything. I'm going to do all the video editing and all the digital stuff myself, right? And to which he responded with, I'm going to get fired and my show sucks and all this stuff. And since then, that's been a breakup. We both still work for the company, right? And meanwhile, I did everything I said I was going to do, and I've been making him look bad every step of the way. The breakup's been really working good in my favor. I really feel like I've won in this scenario. And I'll tell you why I won. I won because we continue to show what can be done. And he could have responded with seeing what we're doing and doing better and stepping up his game and doing his job and be like, oh, wait a second. Yeah, they're doing, my job better than me.
That's not good.
Yeah, I'm going to show the company that I'm actually better at my job than they are at my job. But he hasn't done that. He hasn't done anything.
And meanwhile, is the company paying attention to your quality?
That's neither here nor there. But
I'm
the
sure
work,
that's factored in, though. He's just like, they won't care.
yeah, but 3 years, this guy hasn't talked to me. We're in the same room. We don't
3
even look at
years.
each other. 3 years,
It's
right?
a long divorce.
Uh-huh.
Mhm.
Yeah, but that's a work breakup. It happens. And again, we're both still under, getting paid by the same company. Same thing happened with my friend here who had a preemptive breakup before even S hit the fan.
Yeah.
I was about to go to counseling with this guy before I broke up with him, but I was willing to do that
Yo, you
because I'm
were.
the bigger person.
Yes.
You know? So have you ever had a work breakup scenario?
Nothing that dramatic. I mean, I think it's for a lot of people, it's kind of like the obvious we don't like each other thing. So let's just clear each other's paths or just stay away from each other kind of thing.
Yeah.
But when it's that, sort of vitriolic, you have to send that email.
This is why I feel like it's relatable, because I know there's so many people out there that work with people that they just don't like as personality
it's
clashes.
inevitable.
Yeah, it is inevitable. And then so at one point or another, you decide you don't want to lose your job, and you don't care if they lose their job or not, but you just don't mess with them. You do your best to avoid them.
Mhm.
Essentially, you broke up with that person, whether you know it or not. That work breakup is a thing. And now I mentioned the one kid, but the reality is there's about 5 people I've broken up with this in the building. Well, they're toxic relationship, dude. I can't do it.
Yeah.
I can't do it. I give and I give and I give. And in some cases they slap me. So, I'm not going back.
Did you fall downstairs, Beef?
Yeah, no, that's initially what I
No.
told HR. And then when I said, you know what? All the times I said I fell downstairs, guess what? We're a 1-story building. There are no stairs. Figure it out. All right. So if you have a work breakup story, please let us know. 600 KFMA, 600-5362. We're going to keep the conversation moving. Start the broadcast here soon, and have your Florida man story coming up next. The Beef Vegan Presents, so don't go away.
Don't
All right.
turn that dial.
We're back. Taco said, I just fire the guys I don't like or break up with. Yeah, well, you're in a position to do that. But unfortunately, if you're not in a position to be able to fire somebody, you have to break up with them. It's happened time and time again. I've always worked with a lot of people. And I get work broken up with all the time too. I mean, member
Is
powers.
it through email or no? Well, there's that.
Yeah. They just say, just drift away. Sometimes it's like,
It's not me, it's you.
it's very similar, right? So actually, I felt like a weirdo was breaking up with me, right? Because she was pulling back, and the texts, the communication started to be like a gap, and I would text her and like, "What's going on?" And I would see like the 3 dots, and then no response, and I started feeling like there was a breakup, and I'm like, "So you're scaring the shit out of me, man." And obviously she was going through some stuff, and she was sick, and she's fine, and she's in it. So we're good, but it did feel like, last week it did feel like a couple days like I was getting broken up with, and I have no romantic relationship with Weirdo at all.
He's like, oh,
yeah, it hurts.
my brother, when him and his studio partner, the guy that was doing music with for
Mhm.
the longest time, when they had like that falling out of sorts, so they're still great friends, but they had the thing where they went their separate ways for a while to do projects. He's like, dude, that was worse than breaking up with a girl.
Mhm.
It's like it hurts so much, like a brotherhood breakup. You're just like, man,
It absolutely does
it's
hurt.
different, man. It's weird.
Like, when was the last time you had a friend say just not be your friend anymore, who was like really close? Same difference.
I mean, I've had a friend that just kind of like is
Faded
doing their
out.
own thing, right? And like, so we just don't really talk.
Goddamn, Mari, everyone loves her. So you're the worst person to ask. Nobody's breaking up with you.
Breakups.
I
with
know.
friends.
No, I know. Nobody's breaking up with you. Good for you. Congratulations. Me, on the other hand, it's
I think
like
with
every other
guys,
fucking week.
I think with guys, it's just like the fade out situation where you just
You ghost
stop
out.
talking. Well, maybe not ghost. It's just literally drift.
Yeah, no, but in that situation, that's just guys being guys. It's not even a breakup.
Yeah.
Like some of my best friends, I won't talk to for like a year and a half. And then, but it's not like we're mad at each other.
Right.
We're just dudes. Rock 1 2.1 KFMA. Welcome back to Beef Vegan Presents. We're hanging out here and going through the comments, still talking about work breakups and just relationship breakups in general that aren't romantic. Now, we're going to have a promotion, I think, next week talking about second chance romance. So I know a lot of my broskies out there are in relationships and probably F it up around Valentine's Day each and every year. If you fail massively or times be tough and you give me a good enough story that is comical or whatnot, I could hook you up with $500 in jewelry. And I'll give you more information on that as we get closer to that promotion, but that's going to be our after Valentine's Day promotion.
Wow.
Yeah, I think Sace jewelry store is going to be involved in this, and this is a good way. I was thinking of 2 different promos. One being love yourself there, because I'm single during this Valentine's Day. And so I'm not going to be buying roses for anyone but myself.
Hmm.
Just
But-
get in bed with a bunch of rose petals.
Yeah.
This is great. I love me.
Light some
Nice
candles.
bubble bath.
Some
Warm
salmon.
up the lotion. You know how it
Oh,
goes.
yeah.
Yeah. Sometimes you got to treat yourself.
That's right.
And I think, I got a lot of guys out there listening who maybe currently single and would like to have something nice for Valentine's Day. So if you can't go out or get laid, but you get yourself a nice new bracelet or watch.
Ice out, baby.
Yeah. Ice out necklace to attract the ladies. So
Right.
next year you're not alone. I think that works too. But
I'm a SoundCloud rapper now.
Yeah, they want to keep it.
Come get me.
Yeah, they want to keep it more like couples. So the second chance of romance is the angle that we're going with. And if you fail this Valentine's Day, take mental note and be ready to email me and tell me your story for a chance to win that. Like you've been married for a long time. So when you have Valentine's Day, does Kenzo still get romantic and go over the top, or is he kind of basic? You get like a card.
Yeah, I would say it's card. I think there might be some jewelry this year, though.
Oh yeah? What would make you think this is a jewelry year?
Because I talked to him about it.
You're like, hey, dude, I birthed 2 of your sons. We went back-to-back boys.
Diamonds now.
Yeah, dude, I think that deserves a little bit of bling.
Yeah, I need another Nico necklace because I have a Coda necklace. So that's the jewelry.
Okay, yeah, that's good. I think that's fair.
Sentimental.
Yeah.
Yeah, because that way you'll never forget your son's name.
Yeah, never.
Gotta rock around the
Okay.
neck.
Clever.
Yeah. What is the nicest thing you've done for somebody on Valentine's Day, Rico?
The flowers, the typical.
You just did
gentleman.
flowers?
Flowers, chocolates. Listening to them
Oh.
For once.
for once.
Well, okay. A poll found what the perfect Valentine's date is. So if you're looking to not fail, essentially you want to still be pretty traditional. So here's how the poll breaks down. They polled over 1,000 millennials and Gen Zers who are actively dating to look at what the perfect Valentine's Day date looks like in 2024. And it turns out nothing's changed. It's all pretty much the standard. Okay. The perfect date starts with flowers or a gift. Okay. And one of you should be picking the other person up. So hopefully you get a car and you're driving. So you don't meet them somewhere, basically, is the takeaway. After that, it's dinner and a movie, which I disagree with the movie. But, I think a good date is always about conversation. But at the same time, if you've been with this person for a long time, then a movie's perfect because at the end of the day, all the small talk you kind of run out of, right? So it's a good gap.
Let's stare at a screen for 2 hours.
Yeah. It's like we still like each other, but we ran out of things to talk about. So let's watch this movie. Watch that new Jenna Ortega movie. It would get you in the mood. Huh? All right. Now, the night should end with quote unquote some sort of togetherness. All right. So they want alone time with their date. And you know what that means. And then say a goodbye kiss would be ideal after it's all said and done. So don't forget to give a kiss on the way out. So they looked at the top plans for staying in for Valentine's Day. 61% plan to watch a show or a movie together. If they watch a movie together, may I suggest that new Jenna Ortega film? You know what I'm saying?
Double down, baby.
59%
will cook dinner and 51% plan to become intimate. So they plan for sex on Valentine's Day. You're
Plan
married.
for it.
Yep.
Is it in the plans?
Oh.
If he gives you some jewelry.
Let me see the jewelry first, bro.
Pretty much
Let me
it.
see that diamond.
That's what she's saying. So, all right, we're going to hit the reset on the FM side. Be back with your beef tip right after these words. Keeping the conversation moving. YouTube.com/beefvegan. Oh. Well, maybe you're already going to get a necklace then. I'm just saying.
No, we have
A ring
scheduled
pop.
days. There's scheduled days. That Wednesday is not one of them, but maybe we can make an exception.
It is Valentine's Day.
Yes.
I mean,
Yes.
it's nice to do it on Hallmark holidays.
They don't call it
Yes.
hump day for nothing. Eh? You know what I'm
Birthdays.
saying?
Birthdays, Father's Day, President's Day is coming up. I hope to get laid on President's
President's
Day.
Day? I get laid on every President's Day.
Every
We
day
just
that
read the
ends with Y.
Constitution, rub each other's backs.
We just had MLK Day. Busted
yeah.
a fat one on that.
Hell
you
yeah.
know? I had a dream. It was a
Labor
wet
Day?
dream.
Ooh,
Not appropriate. Not appropriate.
very appropriate.
Uh,
Hey, is Cheesecake Factory still a bad thing?
yes.
It is.
Why?
Apparently, all the females said no to that
Oh, I
Yeah.
love a Cheesecake Factory.
because you're classy
And you're married.
and you're married.
Yes.
It's not cheesecake per se. It's chain restaurants as a whole.
It's just funny that one got outed. The CEO was like, "Damn it,
Yeah, dude. He's
Why
like,
us?
he's like, this is expensive. First
Right?
off, you don't appreciate that. So
huge
that,
portions."
that girl was way in the wrong for sure. And Cheesecake Factory, it's like, look, this is a perfect date scenario because if you never know if the woman you're dating is going to be a picky eater. Well, Cheesecake Factory literally has every different type of cuisine.
Mhm.
So it's like no matter what, you're gonna like something off this menu. If I took you to say a Dante's Fire or like a like an Italian restaurant or something, and maybe you don't like pasta, or maybe you don't like sushi, like all those things, you risk getting yourself in a situation where the woman might not like something that you take her to. But Cheesecake Factory, you cover all bases. It's the safest pick. And it says, hey, I got enough money to spend too much for food. That's okay.
Mhm.
Right?
Plus tip.
Plus tip.
Oy.
And maybe even get you some cheesecake.
Ooh.
You know, or if I could tell this date's not going good and we're not having sex, I'll get 2 slices for me to take home.
That does seem like the kind of food you eat that you're just like too full for sex afterwards, though. Both of you are just like
Ooh,
farting
like
around.
Olive Garden,
Ugh.
Well,
Olive Garden.
breadsticks.
Ooh.
See, that's married talk, and that's very reasonable because you guys are as a group together, right? So your budget is together, so you're thinking as reasonable. Not if you're just dating him, you don't care how much money he has in the bank account.
We went when we were dating. That's one of my favorite restaurants.
She's Italian.
I am.
Yeah.
You know?
Nah, you're not Italian. Yeah.
She's family.
She's not. She's family, but she's not Italian. I'm looking at her. I'm like, you white as hell.
Like 0.5%. Still counts.
Yeah. Well, you know, speaking of married life, the beef tip coming up is a laundry tip.
Oh, I need that.
Yeah, you know what I need? I just opened up my electricity bill and paid that yesterday.
Mm-hmm.
$250. That was up from $100 the month before. I'm like, what in the?
That's why that sign is so popular right now online going around.
What is
the
it?
TEP, we're off air, right?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. We fuck you with the lights on.
Yes.
That whole thing.
Yes.
Like, yeah, it's bad.
Yeah, I don't even know how or why. I know I ran the heat a little bit. I didn't think when I'm leaving the house, is my daughter cranking up to 85 degrees? Like what in the actual fuck is going on to where it jumped up $150 in 1 month?
Did they break it down on that bill? Like why?
No, dude, no. And that's the thing about TP
kilowatts.
that's worse. Yeah, just like, hey, this is last month you only paid this. And it is a weekly graph. Like last year you paid this and whatever, and it does look like someone's flipping me off. So fuck you, $250. I thought when I opened it up, like, oh shit, did I forget to pay last month?
Right, you would assume.
And this is 2 months because I was thinking 150. Yeah, it goes up because I use the heat a little bit.
Right.
That makes sense. And then the 100 from the month before, total 250. Got it. But 250 for 1 month wasn't even a long month.
I know.
It's absurd. It wasn't even that's true.
Yeah.
God. And it's like everything else on top of that. It's like grocery. It's almost like the companies are like, yeah, since everybody else is raising theirs, let's raise ours too. Every little thing.
Make it
Well, we did
snaky.
talk today about how McDonald's and grocery stores
Oh,
are
yeah.
lowering their prices now because
Wait,
they're
McDonald's is?
yeah,
Because
they're-
they're so expensive.
bad now.
yes, they talk about the $18 combo meals and
It's
it's insane. Exactly. For basically
$18.
yeah, for a combo meal.
Ugh.
That's if you supersize it.
$30 at McDonald's for like 2 meals.
I know.
And Uber Eats on top of that, if people do that still.
Yeah, so they just did their quarterly report, and since profits have been down, they realized the problem is because they're being unaffordable, and also, like it's cheaper down to go to the grocery store. But grocery stores are like, well, we're competing against McDonald's as well, so everyone should be, in theory, lowering their prices.
I hope so.
Fingers crossed for sure.
Mhm.
As long as the eggs aren't $10 again, I'm happy.
Yeah, no, they
The
won't
eggs.
be until another bird flu happens.
Right.
All right, let's get on the air for a beef tip. You know how I know we're old? We
No.
complain about bills and money and everything costing money.
Taxes!
I know. And I know a lot of you relate to that. When you have responsibilities, every time they get like a jacked up utility bill, it hits you where it hurts, right? That's why I'm going to give you a beef tip that's going to save you money. All right? According to a laundry expert, they say that an expert says that you can wash most of your clothes on the express setting with warm water.
Huh.
It's enough to get them clean. And any longer than that, wears the fabrics out.
Oh,
Yeah, exactly. So a lot of people always kind of go for like the deep wash or something like that. Now, if you have a washer dryer in your house, you're paying electricity for that, right? I personally go to a laundromat because I'm a loser. But at the same time, I have to wait a little bit longer for my clothes to get done because I want them to be super clean
Mhm.
and get all the skid marks out. But apparently, did I say that out loud? All right. Apparently,
Relatable.
Yeah. This whole show is dedicated to me never having sex again. By the way. Apparently, you could use just the express cycle. It's going to get them just as clean as any other cycle. And that's according to Noah Mickelson, host of HGTV show The Laundry Guy. I mean, hell, he's so good at laundry, he made a career out of it.
Damn.
Yeah.
This stuff.
Mine
So
done wrong.
longer cycles like heavy duty cause more wear and tear on the fabrics. And of course, you want to save water, you want to save energy, you want to save money. Well, then put all of your laundry on express washing, warm water, and that's going to do the trick and get your clothes done just as effectively as if you're spending twice the amount of money.
Hmm.
Yeah. And that's your
Thank you.
beef tip. You're welcome.
Yeah, thanks a lot.
Yeah. Utilize that and pass those savings on to me.
With the skid marks too, though, right?
Yeah. It'll take all the skid marks.
Okay,
out.
good.
Yeah. If you want a science experiment, I'm doing laundry today. So I'll give you
film it.
before and after shots.
Perfect. Thank you, bro.
Yes.
Happy V-Day.
All right, yes. Yeah, I'm definitely going to be alone on this Valentine's Day, but that's okay. All right. That's all the time we have for the show. I'd like to thank everyone for listening. It was a good one. You can watch it back on demand, youtube.com/bevegan. Don't forget to like and subscribe as you do if you're on the YouTube. And keep an eye on our Instagram page. There we're going to post our movie posters from today.
Yeah,
thanks to your help. Until then, Robin Nash is up next. Enjoy the rest of your day. Drive safe, ride safe. And as always, rock local. Later.
When you wish.
Yeah, is there anything else I can say to guarantee I'll never have sex again?
Will come and end to all your
Thanks,
grief.
Drake.
Yeah, thanks, Drake. You ruined it for everybody.
Mean or kind of bad.
Thanks for watching,
I
guys.
will knock out all your teeth.
Peanut butter cup.
Peanut butter cup.